How are you doing? This is Emmanuel A. Amado here, and I'm excited to welcome you to our first YouTube live book review session. It's our first review session that we are doing on YouTube. Usually we'd have it on Google Meet. This is the first time that we're having the book review on YouTube. If you can hear me and I am loud and clear enough, please go ahead. Let me know. Amen. You can hear me and I am loud and clear enough. Please go ahead and let me know in the comments. We'll get started in the next few minutes. You're welcome. You're welcome. If you're just joining in, go ahead, click on the subscribe button and do well to share this video with at least one person. I'm going to be reviewing the book, The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. I've read this book only God knows how many times, at least not less than 20 times. You can see how scattered the book is. This is one book that I would recommend that you read, if possible, every month. So it is not a book that will get tired of reading. And I'm excited that for the very first time, I'll be reviewing it on YouTube. You can hear me and I am loud and clear enough. Go ahead, do well, let me know in the comments. Do well to subscribe if you're just joining in and you're not subscribed to the channel. And be sure to share this video with at least one person so that people can get value from the session. It's going to be a mind-blowing one. I'm sharing 7 powerful lessons that I learned reading the book, The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. So go ahead. You know how we do it. Comment your first name and your current location. I would always want to do a quick shout out before we get started. So just go ahead, put your first name and where you are joining in from. I'll do a quick shout out and then we'll jump right into the business for tonight. The Compound Effect. Very, very profound book. The book was written by Darren Hardy. Darren Hardy is a profound teacher. I've had the privilege, to watch a couple of his videos, gone through quite a number of his content, and I can tell you that the man is someone who understands the law of growth and the laws of success. So I'm excited that we're reviewing his book tonight. Go ahead, comment your first name and your current location. I'll do a quick shout out and then we'll jump right into the business for tonight. I can see Nathan from Zaria. Nathan, good to have you. 7 powerful lessons that I learned reading the book, The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. I see Precious. Precious, good to have you. Itia from Zaria, good to have you. I see Caleb Ibrahim, all the way from Gombe. Good to have you. Precious is from Sokoto. Good to have you, Precious. So without wasting any further time, we'll jump right into the business for tonight. But I want you to give me your attention. In the next 30 to 45 minutes, we should be done with tonight's session. And I assure you that it will be a life-transforming one. So 7 powerful lessons that I learned reading the book, The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. Lesson number one. The first lesson that I learned reading the book is that the key to changing and transforming your life is changing something you do daily. I'm going to repeat it one more time. That the key to changing and transforming your life is changing something that you do daily. I learned very powerfully from the book. For me, it was a reinforcement of conviction and of knowledge that it is not what you do once that changes your life. It is what you do consistently. It was Dr. Mike Murdoch who said that it is what we do daily that determines who we become permanently, not what we do once in a while. Many people have the mentality that their life is going to change just because they engage one action. Just because you listen to one teaching or you attended a seminar or, you went through a course or whatever it is. Most people think that it is that one action that changes their life, but that is not how transformation happens. That is not how change happens. Real change, sustainable change, happens through consistent engagement of daily routines. My God. Let's imagine somebody who, wants to lose weight, and then the person just decides to go and do night vigil in the gym and exercise for 12 hours. Do you think that person will lose any weight? That's because change does not happen like that. The key to changing and transforming your life is changing something you do daily, not something you do, once in a while. It is what you do daily that determines who you become permanently, not what you do once in a while. This is why it is better to read, 10 pages of a book every day for an extended period of time than to read maybe for 3 hours, for 10 hours once in a while, right? There are people who, they just pray when the motivation to pray comes. They read when the motivation to read comes, and then they slack again for a long period of time. No. I learned very powerfully today. I was listening to a teaching by Apostle Joshua Selman, my spiritual father, and he shared how the key to transforming your life is changing something you do daily, changing your routines. In fact, if I stay with you for 24 hours, I can tell whether or not you will succeed in life and in destiny, because your routine is a great predictor of your success or failure. I'll repeat that one more time. Your routines, the activities that you engage every day, is a great predictor of your success or failure. I don't need to be a prophet to know whether you will fail or you will succeed in life if I know what you do every day. It is what you do daily that determines who you become permanently. So on account of this lesson, how do you implement it? Go back and take that reading habit seriously. Go back and take that praying habit seriously. Go back and take that, taking of water every day seriously. It is what we do every day that really shapes our life, not what we do once in a while. Many people are waiting for one massive action to just happen and then their lives will change. That's not how transformation works. Transformation works by routines. It works by little activities engaged consistently over time. I've been preaching this thing and I've been saying it, and unfortunately, many people are not taking it seriously. And it's quite unfortunate. Meet any successful person, meet any great person, they will tell you that the key to greatness is not something they did once in a while. I know big decisions matter, but let me tell you, they are not as important, they are not as powerful as small daily positive actions done every day, compounded over time. Again, it is what you do daily, not what you do once in a while, that changes your life. I would rather read 2 pages of a book every day for 30 days than to read 10 hours once in 30 days. Consistency is more powerful than intensity when it has to do with growth and transformation. And the reason why people are carried away by intensity is because we like quick results. We like quick success. You just want to put the food on fire and bring it down and it's cooked. You see, no matter how hungry you are, you need time for your rice to become jollof rice or to become fried rice. In fact, the better the food you want to cook, the more patience you will need for that food to be cooked. So success cannot be microwaved. Success does not happen overnight. Success is the resultant effect of small daily decisions, small positive habits compounded over time, engaged consistently and compounded over time. So if you ask me, the wisest thing to do as a young person, especially if you're in your 20s, is to find routines, growth routines, and bind yourself to them. All great people, all truly successful people are ritualists. There are activities they engage on a daily basis that is responsible for the success that they have. Nobody fell from heaven with success. No, it is the decisions, the decision to pray every day, the decision to read every day, the decision to exercise every day, the decision to listen to a teaching every day. Those small decisions, my God. Do you know that I read 10 pages of a book every day? There is no 24 hours that will pass by that I will not pray for at least 1 hour every day. You see, it's not the 10 hours prayer that changes your life. It is that small growth that changes and transforms your life. Is somebody listening to me and paying attention? In fact, we started the 30-day zero procrastination challenge today. And do you know that the entirety of that challenge is built on everyone engaging 3 growth activities every day? That's the whole idea. Now, I'm putting in accountability and all of these things, but the foundation of the challenge is that everyone must engage 3 growth activities every day. Now, those growth activities will not just transform their lives. Do you know that self-discipline in one area of your life has a way of compounding into other areas of your life? Yesterday, I was sharing with them that a research was done in a military base in the US, and it was discovered that soldiers who had the habit of making their bed first thing after they wake up in the morning were generally more disciplined than soldiers who did not have that habit. The power of small daily improvements. The power of small daily improvement. That the key to changing and transforming your life, the key to success is not one big action. No, it is small positive decisions and habits engaged every day, compounded over time, that equals success. And small negative decisions and habits compounded over time is what leads to failure. So if you want to change your life, change your habits. If you want to change your life, change your routines. We decide our habits. Our habits decides our life and our destinies. Every successful person is successful because they have successful habits. Every failure is a failure because they have habits that make them failure. If you wake up every day and the first thing you do in the morning is scroll through your social media or watch a movie, I hope you know that's a habit. And if you do that consistently for 5 years, 10 years, what do you think will be the outcome of that habit? You see, your life will not fail because you watch a movie a day. No, when you make it a habit, when you make, bad decisions or bad activities a habit and it compounds over time, that is what leads to failure. So success does not happen overnight. No, success is the result. I'm drumming it again and again so that you will get it. You are a young person listening to me here. Take away that get rich quick mentality. Take away that get successful quick mentality. In Luke chapter 2 verse 52, the Bible says Jesus grew. How did he grow? Habits. The habit of going to the place of worship to learn. The habit of prayer. He grew in wisdom. He grew in stature from age 12 to age 30. Right? Jesus was growing. He was engaging habit. Transformation is a function of habit. Transformation is a function of consecration. The activities you do every day, regardless of how you feel. And you see, the more consistent you are, the faster will be your transformation process. So if there is no gaps, you are praying every day. Try it and see that for the next 6 months, you are going to pray 1 hour every day. For the next 6 months, you're going to read 10 pages of a book every day. I'm telling you, you will not recognize yourself. The 7 powerful lessons. Don't forget, I'm sharing 7 powerful lessons that I learned reading the book, The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. And I said, number 1, the key to changing and transforming your life is changing something you do daily. Number 2, the second lesson that I learned reading the book is that whatever is changing usually does not notice the change. But that does not mean change is not happening. I'll repeat one more time. Whatever is changing usually does not notice the change, but that does not mean that change is not happening. One of the major reasons why people don't engage growth activities consistently enough is because they are fooled by the deception of lack of change. So, for example, if I'm reading every day and I notice that money is not coming into my hands, my influence is not growing, chances are I'm going to be discouraged, because human beings are motivated by results. We want to know how what we are doing is adding a specific kind of value to our lives. And the moment we cannot tie that activity to a specific result, we get demotivated and discouraged. Are you getting what I'm saying? So I'm saying now that whatever is changing, just because you are not seeing any change, does not mean that change is not happening. You see it? It is called the deception of change. That when you begin to read, it will look as if nothing is changing. For example, you are in this training tonight and you are listening to me. By the time we are done, when you meet somebody who did not attend the teaching session or the book review session, there will not be any difference between both of you. Both of you will still have one head. Maybe you still have the same money in your pocket and all of that. And you can be deceived that nothing is changing. My dear people, that is not the case. God cannot be mocked. As long as you are sowing, you are reaping. The Bible says they go from strength to strength, each and every one of them appearing before the Lord in Zion. As long as you are engaging growth activities, change is happening. And I want to make a very profound statement here, that just because you are not seeing change does not mean it is not happening. Most times we feel that until we can see the change, that is proof that change is happening. No, sometimes you don't see change, but it doesn't mean it is not happening. When you plant a seed, do you see it growing? Do you see the roots downwards? No, you don't see it. But you know that as long as you continue to water that seed, one day will come that the seed will break through the ground. In fact, do you know that the Chinese bamboo seed, when you plant it, it spends 5 years underground without coming out of the ground. And the farmer has to continue watering it for that 5 years. But in less than 5 weeks after that 5 years, that seed that was underground will break through the ground and grow up to 90 feet. 90 feet in less than 5 weeks. The power of growth. Just because you are not seeing change does not mean it is not happening. So for that 5 years that the seed is underground, you will be deceived to think that nothing is happening. But I tell you, the seed is growing roots downwards, is growing stamina downwards, is breaking forth, preparing for that growth that will happen externally. I tell you, growth happens internally before it happens externally. Many of us here, if you're an architect, you will know that one of the most expensive part of a building is the foundation. And the part that is not visible is the foundation. And the greater the building you want to build, the more bulky, the more robust the foundation has to be. So when you see somebody who is building a bungalow, that person can just do a quick foundation and build it up. But somebody who is building a skyscraper can take 3 months, 6 months to do just the foundation. Just the foundation. In fact, I was reading that some of the skyscrapers in Dubai, the foundation, they do what they call pillar foundation, and it's up to 90 feet into the ground. That means they drill into the ground and put concrete. So for that time, you would think nothing is happening, but that foundation is what will hold the building when it begins to show forth. I tell you, just because you are not seeing change does not mean it is not happening. I always use this illustration. Remember how, for some of us, when you go back home, maybe you go to school as a student and then you go back home, and then your neighbors or your people that knew you when you were small will come to the house and say, see this Emmanuel, this small Emmanuel, he don't grow, he don't big. And you're wondering, I big? You know why you did not notice the change? Because you are the one changing. So people who are close to change do not notice change. It is people who are far from it. So as you are reading every day, you may not think anything is changing. Then one day, they say, come and teach for 10 minutes. And as you teach, the wisdom that flows, my God, people look at you and they say, Emmanuel, where did you get this kind of wisdom? And you're wondering, I've just been reading 10 pages every day. Do you know there are things that I say today, when I say things like the vicissitudes of life? I hope you can hear me. Yes. Now, there are certain words that come out of my mouth. And I'm wondering, where did this come from? It came from that growth routine, that routine of reading, that routine of listening to teachings every day. I'm telling you, just because you are not seeing change does not mean it is not happening. And I just told us now that when you are close to change, you usually don't notice change. This is why, the Bible says we are the salt of the earth and the light of the world, not the salt and the light of the church. Because when you are light in a lighted place, you will not notice the light. Did somebody get that? When you on light in a place that already has light, you will not notice the significance of that light. But when you take that light to darkness, so when you are changing, you will not notice it until you now get to a place where that change is needed, where that change cannot be ignored. So don't give up. Don't give up just because. Can you guys hear me? So sorry about that. Sincerely apologize for the network fluctuation. So I said that whatever is changing usually does not notice the change. But that does not mean that change is not happening. So just because you are not seeing anything physical does not mean that change is not happening. It's called the deception of change. That change can be happening, yet you will not know it. And you can be discouraged because human beings are motivated by results. Let me share with us 4 levels of change in terms of growth. Now, I'm just adding this based on that lesson. 4 levels of change in terms of growth. That when you are growing, there are 4 levels of change. And the first is your thinking. The first change that happens when you start to grow, when you start to transform, to be transformed, is your thinking. Your clothes may not change. Your results may not change, but your thoughts will change. You that before any small thing you would have been thinking about committing suicide. Now you are always thinking positive thoughts. You are always grateful. Do you know why? Change is happening. Your clothes may have not changed. There will be no money, maybe no money in your bank account, but your thoughts is changing. The first level of change is your thinking. He says, when I was a child, I thought like a child. The second level of change is your words. When I was a child, I spake as a child. Because I thought as a child, I spake as a child. Most times when Facebook, you know what Facebook does? Remember sending you some of your posts from 10 years ago, 7 years ago, and all of that. When Facebook reminds me of some of my posts and I see some of the things that I wrote before, I'm shocked. You mean I was the one that wrote this thing? I spoke as a child, saying, useless words that did not make sense, using all kinds of funny shorthands. I spoke as a child. So one of the ways you know you are changing is that how you speak begin to change. It says, if they speak not according to this word, then there is no light in them. If they speak not according, there is a way somebody who is being transformed should speak. I should not hear you say, I don't they die you. Nigeria, better, or things are not working, or using insultive words. If you are being transformed, if your life is changing, it must be reflected in your speech. Notice your result has not changed. The third level of change is what I call your actions. This includes your attitude, your behavior, and your decisions. Your actions, your behavior, your attitude, and your decisions. When you begin to change, you'll begin to notice. When I was that time when I started reading, before I started my personal development journey, my room could be scattered. I will remove my clothes and throw it anywhere. You know why? Because I was thinking in a disorganized way, and my environment was disorganized. But when my thoughts changed, my words changed, my actions began to change. So for some of you, your bank account may not have started increasing, but you are now a neat person. You are now an organized person. The former version of you will eat and drop the plate anywhere. But now when you finish eating, you go and wash the plate. It is proof that change is happening. It is proof that transformation is happening. So don't be discouraged. That reading you are reading is working. Don't let anybody tell you that personal development is a scam. All these motivational speakers, telling you think and all of these things is a scam. Let me tell you, everything that happens in your life first starts in your mind. It's not motivational talk. In fact, there's a book called Think and Grow Rich. They didn't say walk and grow rich, think. That means your thinking affects your speaking, affects your walking, your decisions, and then affect your results. What is in your pocket? The Bible says, thou anointed my head with oil, my cup runneth over. That means abundance starts from the mind. Is somebody being blessed by what I'm sharing? So whatever is changing, the second lesson that I learned from the book is that whatever is changing usually does not notice the change, but that does not mean change is not happening. Lesson number 3. Let me be fast. Lesson number 3. If you're getting value, comment value. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you click on the subscribe button. Do well to share this video on your WhatsApp status. Share it with at least 2 or 3 persons. You can share it on your church WhatsApp group or any WhatsApp group that you are part of, just so that they can get value and learn. Number 3, the third lesson that I learned reading the book, The Compound Effect by Darren, is that what is simple to do is also simple not to do. Take note. What is simple to do is also simple not to do. The magic of compound effect, is not in the complexity of the task. Is not in the complexity of the task, but in doing of simple things repeatedly and long enough. I'll repeat it one more time. That what is simple to do is also simple not to do. That the magic of compound effect is not in the complexity of the task, but in doing of simple things repeatedly and long enough. This is another reason why many people are not consistent with routines, why many people don't want to read, why many people don't want to pray consistently, because they feel like reading 10 pages every day does not carry any weight. They feel like praying 1 hour every day does not carry any weight. So why should I do it? It's too small. But I'm here to tell you that it is the simple things that make for greatness. Any successful and great man will tell you that success is not necessarily, about doing big things. No, it's about doing those simple, boring, positive tasks consistently long enough. Many times we want to do spooky things. We want to do this and do that. Human beings like complexity. You want to go to the gym and do 7, Can you guys hear me? So sorry about the network issue. So success is not about complexity. It's not about doing this and doing that and doing this and doing that. No, it's in doing the simple things consistently for a long period of time. I know reading of 10 pages every day may seem boring. How can reading of 10 pages of a book every day transform my life? How can praying for 30 minutes or 1 hour every day transform my life? You see, that's the mentality you have. But let me tell you, real success, learn it and learn it now. That real success is not about complex things. No, it's about, that's why success is very boring. Let me tell you, I'll be talking about that in my next point, or the point after that. That success is very boring. And most people don't want to be bored. We want a lot of things. We want to do this and want to do that. No, success is just in small routines. In Acts chapter 6, verse 4, the Bible says, the apostles, I think 6 verse 4 or 4 verse 6, it says, the apostle says, and we will give ourselves continually to the ministry of the word and prayer. In other words, there is not so much we can do. We will do. What we will do only is prayer and the ministry of the word. So we'll do it every day. We'll study the word every day and we'll pray every day. And just because of those 2 activities, the disciples became signs and wonders. They got to a point where the shadow of Peter was healing the sick. Can you imagine? Just 2 activities. You want to do 100 things to be successful. That's not how success is. You don't have to be complicated. You don't have to be complicated to be successful. Success is in the simple things. Success is in the simple things. What is simple, that's why I wrote here, that what is simple to do is also simple not to do. The magic of the compound effect is not in the complexity of the task, but in doing of simple things repeatedly and long enough. Take note, repeatedly and long enough. The compound effect. Number 4. The fourth lesson that I learned reading the book, The Compound Effect by Darren, is that the stamina to be consistent, with your routines comes from your why power. Stamina comes from why power. There is willpower and there is why power. Did you hear that? There is willpower and there is why power. You are listening to me now. If I tell you to take your phone that you are listening to me with now and smash it on the floor, are you going to do it? You will not do it. Even if you love me, you will not do it. Except you are very close to me and you know that I may send you or I will send you the money. But what if I told you that if you smash your phone, I've already authorized somebody to send you 20 million naira. Now, smashing your phone becomes easy. Why? Because you now know why you should smash the phone. Consistency requires reasons, requires a strong why for it to work. I was sharing with participants of the 30-day Zero Procrastination Challenge yesterday that the first step to being consistent and always finishing what you start is to have a strong and a compelling reason for what you want to do. A clear, strong, and compelling reason. Why do you want to read every day? Why do you want to pray every day? Why do you want to exercise every day? If you go to the gym just because you want to lose weight, chances is after 1 month you will give up. But now imagine if you had a vision of yourself 6 months after you register to the gym, and you had a vision of yourself at the swimming pool and you had 6 packs. Is it 6 packs now or 4 packs? And then you are looking very handsome and all the ladies are looking at you and they're just admiring you. In fact, ladies are trying to flirt with you and all of those things. You see, that excitement of being wanted, that excitement of being desired will motivate you to go to the gym better than just saying you want to lose weight. So the vision is what produces the fuel for the discipline. The vision is what produces the fuel for the habit. So before you, every habit is like a journey, it's like a vehicle. It is leading you somewhere. So you need to ask, what is the outcome? What is going to be the outcome of this habit? If I read every day for 1 year, what am I going to become? If I pray every day, my God, for 1 year, what kind of person would I become? John 5:35, the Bible says, and John was a burning and a shining light. So if I pray every day for 1 year, I will become a burning and a shining light. If I read every day for 1 year, I will become somebody with high mental IQ. I'll be full of light. I'll be full of wisdom. The Bible says that the elders will hear Job speak and they will stand up and put their hands on their lips. That young people will see Job and they will hide because of how transformed he was. So the mentality, the vision of who I will become is what drives the habit that I engage, comes from your why power. Why do you want to read every day? For me, I read every day because, my God, I want to speak with kings. I see myself speaking to world changers. I see myself speaking to captains of industries. This version of myself cannot speak to them. I need knowledge. I need high-level wisdom. So I will pay the price to read every day. When I'm adding knowledge layer by layer, I'm evolving into that version that can stand before kings, that version that can speak to presidents. So the motivation to study every day comes from that revelation that I see of myself speaking to kings and captains of industries. Question, what do you see? The Bible says without vision, the people cast off restraint. Do you know what it means to cast off restraint? It means to lack discipline. Habits, routines requires high-level willpower. It requires self-discipline for you to be consistent. And where do you draw that energy from? From the revelation that of what you will become when you engage that routine. Are you seeing it? So for many of us, the problem is not that we are lazy. The problem is that we don't have a strong why power. We don't know why. We don't know the benefit. We don't know the benefit of praying every day. We don't know the benefit of, reading every day. My God, when I read every day, this is the vision that drives me. When I exercise, because I've seen how I'll look by 60, I cannot afford to not take my health seriously. Because I know that one day my child will come to me and say, Daddy, I'm struggling with this. And I will not say, go and listen to this speaker. No. Where did I keep myself? Where did I keep myself? Why didn't I gather wisdom? He says, eat, for the journey is far. Do you know why we eat every day? It's so that we'll be strong in the day of adversity, so that we will not die in the evening. You eat so that you will not faint. So why are you eating? Why are you praying? Why are you studying? If you know your why and it is compelling enough, the discipline becomes easy. I hope we're getting value. If you're not yet subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe and do well to share this video with at least one person. Share it on your WhatsApp status. We're looking at lessons from the book, The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. Very profound book. Lesson number 5. Lesson number 5. The fifth lesson. The fifth lesson that I learned reading the book, The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy, is that the one thing that failures and successful people have in common, the one thing that failures and successful people have in common is that they all hate doing the same things. They all hate doing the same things. Full stop. The difference is successful people do them anyways. The difference is that successful people do them anyways. I'll repeat it one more time. The one thing that failures and successful people have in common is that they all hate doing the same things. But the difference is that successful people do them anyways. Who told you I like praying every day? Who told you I like reading every day? You have no idea how disciplined and how boring it is to read every day. My God, I barely went out today. It was so, just reading every day, praying. You know how boring it is? But I do it every day because I know that this is what will make me successful. This is what will make me great. Now, I wrote down here that the number one enemy to your transformation, the number one enemy to your commitment to your growth is boredom. Boredom. Human beings don't like boredom. We don't like anything that is boring. The human mind likes novelty. So if I do anything consistently enough, chances are it will become boring because we don't like repeating tasks. It makes us feel bored. So we want to give up. We want to stop doing it. So what really distinguishes successful people from unsuccessful people is that successful people do the boring things regardless. They do the boring things regardless. If you are somebody who is easily bored, there's a strong chance you will not be successful. Did you hear that? Success is boring. Growth and transformation is boring. People who like excitement, who like entertainment, and there's nothing wrong in entertainment. There's nothing wrong in living a flashy life. But if you are too addicted to excitement and entertainment, you will never be successful. The Bible says a man having separated himself, secret and intermediate with all wisdom. Wisdom comes to you when you are alone. Did you hear what I'm saying? Don't be so addicted. There are many people who cannot spend time with themselves. There are people who have never been single. From the day you became a teenager, you entered a relationship. The moment you did 5 years, you broke up, you entered another one. In fact, before you broke up, you entered and you have been dating because you are afraid of being alone. Those kinds of people will not be able to succeed. You know why? Because success requires, being familiar with boredom, doing the boring things. Reading every day is not sweet. Did you hear that? If nobody has told you before, let me tell you. Praying every day is not sweet, but this is what will make you great. This is what will make you successful. You see, many people are not successful because they are not willing to do what successful people do. If you do what successful people do, you will be successful. And trust me, successful people don't do easy things. Successful people do not do exciting things. Successful people do hard and boring things. That's why they are successful. Many people are failures because they are always looking for things that are entertaining. Who told you watching movie? Everybody wants to watch movie. Everybody wants to have fun and go to party and dance. Everybody wants to have a fun life. But you see, the things that make you successful, sometimes and most times, they are not fun. They are not fun. The one thing that failures and successful people have in common is that they all hate doing the same things. They hate boredom. But successful people do them anyways. Number 6, the 6th lesson that I learned reading the book, The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy, is that it is the extra you do after doing the ordinary that makes you extraordinary. Let me repeat that. It is the extra you do after doing the ordinary that makes you ordinary, that makes you extraordinary. One of my affirmations is that every day I demand from myself what nobody else can humanly expect. I do the extra to make my ordinary extraordinary. If you want to be great, if you want to be successful, you must learn to put in the extra work. You know, I know you say you read 10 pages every day, but one day extend by 5 pages. I know you say you will pray for 1 hour every day, but there should be days when you pray for 10 hours. There should be days when you pray for 3 hours. When you put the extra in your ordinary, you become extraordinary. So learn to go the extra mile. Learn to do the extra. Are you seeing it? The average person, when they read for 1 hour, they are tired. One day, stretch and read for 6 hours. Compel yourself. Force yourself to always do extra. You know, added to your ordinary. Don't be the kind of person who only do what is needed. Are you seeing it? Don't be the kind of person. Always put pressure on yourself to go the extra mile. Always put pressure on yourself to do the extra things. Right? I always want to do extra. That's what makes you extraordinary. If you do ordinary things, you will be ordinary. If you do extraordinary things, you will be extraordinary. The extra is what makes you extraordinary. Lesson number 7. The 7th lesson that I learned. Maybe I'll give us a bonus lesson. The 7th lesson that I learned reading the book, The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy, is that every decision, no matter how small, alters the trajectory of your life. Did you get that? Every decision, no matter how small, alters the trajectory of your life. In Galatians chapter 6, verse 7, the Bible says, do not be deceived. God cannot be mocked. A man reaps what he sows. In other words, every decision you make will become a harvest that you will reap in the later time. So you cannot afford to be careless with your decisions. There are many people who say, you know, it doesn't matter. I can just take a bottle of Coke. I can just eat. You see, those little decisions, when they are compounded over time, is what leads to failure. So you must be intentional about your decisions. And let me make a very profound statement. I've said this many times, that you are free to make your decisions, but you don't get to choose the consequences. You are free to make decisions, but the consequences that follows, you don't get to choose it. You can decide right now to go and stand in the middle of the road, but you don't choose whether to survive. Your standing on the road is automatically gives you a ticket to heaven or hell. So every decision comes with consequences tied to it. So before you make any decision, always think, this consequence that will come with this decision, when it comes, would I like it? If you will not like it, change the decision. So most times, this is how you make progress. When you always think consequences, Don't just do things because you can do them. Always think, if I do this thing, what will be the consequences of doing these things? You know, most times people just drift through life, and that's why their life is so scattered and chaotic, because they don't think. You just marry whoever you want to marry. You get whatever job you want to get. You travel whenever you want to travel. You do whatever you want to do. That's why your life is anyhow. If you do anyhow, you become anyhow. So you have to be intentional. Let me tell you, great people, this is one quality that all successful people have. They are very intentional about their decisions, and they think before they act. They are mindful. They are intentional. Before they do anything, they ask, what will be the consequence of this decision in the next 2 years, in the next 5 years? If they don't like the consequences, they don't make the decision. Always think. Don't do anything I wrote down here until you think about the consequences and you are comfortable with it. If you are not comfortable with the consequence, do not take the action. Do not take the action. I will keep the bonus point to myself. Let me just do a quick recap of the 7 lessons that I learned reading the book, The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. Number 1, I said that the key to changing and transforming your life is changing something you do daily. Number 2, I said whatever is changing usually does not notice the change, but that does not mean that change is not happening. Just because you are not seeing change does not mean it is not happening. Number 3, I said that what is simple to do is also simple not to do. The magic of compound effect is not in the complexity of the facts, but in doing of simple things repeatedly and long enough. Number 4, I said the stamina to be consistent with your routines come from your why power. Number 5, the one thing that failures and successful people have in common is that they all hate doing the same things, but successful people do them anyways. That means successful people are used to boredom. Number 6, it is the extra you do after doing the ordinary that makes you extraordinary. So make it a habit of always doing the extra. If you're supposed to maybe write 10 pages, write 11. If you're supposed to pray for 30 minutes, pray for 40 minutes. Always add extra to everything that you do. Number 7, every decision, no matter how small, alters the trajectory of your life. Decisions decides destiny. These are 7 powerful lessons that I have learned reading the book, The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. I hope we got value following me. If you got value, go ahead and comment value. You're just joining in. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Share this video with your friends and your loved ones. And I know that for some of us, we're able to read the book cover to cover. I encourage you, get the book, read the book. Go ahead, make sure you share at least one lesson that you learned. For those of us who have read the book, I'll be sure to go through the comments. Share one lesson that you learned, at least one lesson that you learned reading this book. I'd like to learn from you, and I'm sure that there will be others that will also learn from you. That said, we're reading this book this month. This is the book we're reading. If you have not joined the Leaders Manor Network community, we have a WhatsApp channel. The link is in the description. Make sure you join now. Whether you're watching this video as a rebroadcast, make sure you join the community. The Leaders Manor Network is Africa's largest and fastest growing personal development community. We're building a community of young people who are passionate and intentional about growth and about transformation. Young people who will evolve to become so that they can transform their societies. So join the community, share the link with as many people so that they can be part of the community. We're intentional about growth. You see that many of the systems we're putting is to help you grow and help you evolve into better versions of yourself. And this is our book read for the month of February. If you don't have the book, please do well to go get it. There are 2 kinds. There's a shorter version. This is the more concise version. I think this is the recent one. How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. By the grace of God, hopefully by the end of the month or first week of March, we'll do a book review on it. That said, let me give us heads up. The Leverage Conference is coming in April into May. I hope we're excited. So watch out for the flyer, watch out for the publicity. When it's out, make sure you register, share with as many people as you can share with, get people to register and to join. We have an amazing lineup of speakers, and I'm excited already about what will be happening through that conference. If you're not yet, you've not yet gone through my mentorship program, the 90-day strategic growth daily mentor program, you can ask Conyo for the link or just drop in the comment. We'll send you the link to join the program. People have reached out to me, sir, I want you to mentor me. I believe very strongly that as a young person, one of the greatest advantages you would have is to have access to structured knowledge, structured knowledge. And that's what I did with the mentorship program. I distilled 7 pillars: personal transformation, finance. I even spoke about finance, relationships, building strategic relationships, strategic topics, 6 of them. And I take you through it over a period of 90 days. It's a mind-blowing and life-transforming program. Do well to subscribe, and I'm sure that you will be blessed. That said, thank you so much for joining in. I'll do a quick shout out, and then I'm out of your faces. God bless you. I see Nathan, Precious. I see Otubong from UK. I see Cornel. God bless you. Blessing, Kure. God bless you so much. I see Simeon. I see Caleb. I see Godwin. Thank you so much for joining in, my people. God bless you. I'm sure you got value tonight. Please have a lovely, lovely, lovely night rest, and God bless you.